We're here in 2026, but something happened 16 years ago that changed everything. Let's go back to 2010. A programmer named Laszlo Hanyecz is hungry at a pizza place in Florida. He posts on a Bitcoin forum, "Who wants 10,000 Bitcoin if they order me 2 pizzas?" Someone says yes. The pizzas cost $41. Those same 10,000 Bitcoin today at $60,000 each would be $600 million, the most expensive pizza in history. Now, flip it. If Laszlo had spent $41 on gold that day instead of Bitcoin, he'd have about $95 today. So, why are central banks like China's still buying tons of gold and not Bitcoin? Is gold better or is Bitcoin better? Let's run 6 rounds and find out. Round 1, the ID check. Who are they? Gold has a 5,000-year resume. Egyptian pharaohs were buried with it. The Roman Empire traded with it. My grandfather hid my grandmother's bangles during World War II so they'd have something to trade if cash collapsed. Bitcoin is 17 years old. In 2009, someone or some group named Satoshi Nakamoto said money without a central bank and disappeared. Nobody knows who they are. One has 5,000 years of trust. One has 17. Which one do you trust more? Round 2, the scarcity fight. Which one is actually rare? Gold. All the gold ever mined in the world would fit in a 22-meter cube. We still dig up about 1.5% more every year because new mines are found. So it's scarce, but not absolutely finite. Bitcoin. The code says only 21 million will ever exist, not one more. Every 4 years, the new supply gets cut in half. No president or central banker can change that rule. Real story. In 1933, the U.S. government literally banned private gold ownership and told people to hand it over. They had to sell. With Bitcoin, if you hold your private key, no government can force it out of your wallet. That's called censorship resistance. Scarcity winner, Bitcoin, because the math isn't controlled by any government. Round 3, the stability fight. Which one keeps you calm? Gold moves about 15% per year. Think of a calm, middle-aged adult. Bitcoin moves 50 to 54% per year. Think of a teenager who's valedictorian one day and suspended the next. It's had drawdowns of 70 to 80% multiple times. Real story. March 2020, COVID hits. Stocks crash. Gold dips at first, but then goes up because it's seen as safe. Bitcoin crashed with stocks. So in a crisis, it still acts like a risky asset, not a safe haven. If you lose sleep over stress, gold is better. If you can watch an 80% drop and not sell, Bitcoin is for you. Round 4, the portability fight. You need to escape. What do you take? Gold. $1 billion in gold weighs 15 tons. You need armored trucks, insurance, customs, and a lot of headaches to move it. Bitcoin. $1 billion in Bitcoin can be stored in 12 words, in your head. Cross a border and nobody knows. Real story. Ukraine War 2022. Many people couldn't take their gold or cash when they fled, but people with Bitcoin wrote 12 words on paper, left the country, and cashed out somewhere else. Portability, winner. Bitcoin by a mile. Round 5, the returns fight. Which one makes you rich? Let's be blunt. Numbers don't lie. If you bought $1,000 of gold in 2015, by the end of 2025, you'd have about $3,168. Not bad, around 12% per year. If you bought $1,000 of Bitcoin in 2015, by the end of 2025, you'd have about $10,017,062, around 92% per year. But here's the anti-cliche. People say gold always holds value. From 1980 to 2000, gold basically went sideways for 20 years. People who bought at the 1980 peak waited 28 years to break even. 10-year inflation-adjusted return, gold around 30% total, about 2% per year. Bitcoin 3,700% plus, about 44% per year. Returns winner, Bitcoin. But it comes with heart attacks. Round 6, the risk fight. How do you go broke? Gold risks. Counterfeit. China had cases of fake gold bars filled with tungsten, looks like gold outside, worthless inside. Confiscation. Governments can ban it, like the US did in 1933. Storage cost. Bank safe deposit boxes charge fees. Bitcoin risks. Lost keys. Lose your 12 words and the money is gone forever, like dropping a gold bar into the ocean. An estimated 4 million Bitcoin are lost forever. Hacks. If an exchange gets hacked, your money is gone. Regulation. One day, a country could say Bitcoin is illegal. Real story. James Howells threw away a hard drive with 8,000 Bitcoin in 2013. That drive is worth over $500 million now, and it's buried under tons of trash in a landfill in Wales. He's still trying to dig it up. Wrap up. So what should you buy? Look, asking which is better is like asking is a shield better or a spear? Answer, in a war, you want both.
Gold, defensive shield. 5,000 years of history, central banks trust it, calms you in a crisis, low volatility. But it won't make you rich. Bitcoin, offensive spear. New technology, absolute supply, can 10x, can also drop 80%. What does the market say? Total gold in the world is worth $31.9 trillion. Total Bitcoin is $1.9 trillion. So the world still trusts gold 17 times more. What 99% of financial advisors say? Don't fight. Own both. Example, 95% in safe assets like gold and property, 1 to 5% in Bitcoin for growth. That way, if Bitcoin goes to zero, you don't go bankrupt, and if it 10x, you get to celebrate. Last thought, the older generation bought gold because they didn't trust government. The new generation buys Bitcoin because they don't trust banks. Both want the same thing, something that holds value and I control, not someone else.
Join Economy Path and master the future of wealth. See you in the next video.